Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about how to do whatever you want in this life. So, sometimes we can feel trapped by our circumstances. It could be like we feel trapped by our job, we can feel trapped just like where we live and things like that, right? And sometimes it can feel like nothing can ever change, or we're never going to be able to live the lives that we want, and we're never going to be able to do the things that we want. And sometimes when you get caught up in life, it can really feel like that. So there are a few things that you can do to help you start getting on the path to be able to do whatever it is that you want. Now, of course, whatever that may be is going to be different for everybody. So really think about what you intend, what you want for you, right? Because it's going to be different for everybody. What I want is going to be much different than what you want and the person next to you and what they want as well. So the first thing that you need to do, that you need to really get clear on, is figuring out how you would like your life to be, right? So how would it be if you could have it any way that you wanted it? You know, what kind of job would you have, or perhaps you wouldn't have to work anymore? What kind of area would you be living in? What kind of car would you be driving? How would you be spending your day from, sunrise to sunset? How ideally would you like to be living, right? So you've got to figure out what that is for you. You've got to figure out what your ideal lifestyle is. And sometimes it's good to just sit down and imagine those things, imagine those images, right? So you can get a clearer picture. And it's also a good idea to write those things down as well, so you can look back over it and you can start making a plan essentially, right? So the next thing that you do after you've figured out what kind of life that you want to live, how would you ideally like to be spending your time, is you need to persist and keep trying to achieve it. So it might be that you need some capital, you need some money, right? And if you need some money, then obviously you need to work to be able to get that money. So you may need money for that, to be able to do that. And basically, whatever it may be, you have to keep on persisting. You have to keep on being productive in order to try and get there, right? It's really important that you make a plan, and the steps that you're taking are very actionable steps, because there's only so much you can achieve through meditation and visualization and writing things down. You need to get to work basically to try and create that life for yourself, right? So it's very important that you are taking action and you're persisting, right? So you can use things like the law of probability to your advantage. So for example, this works really well if, like, let's say you want to be on social media, you want to make money off of that, or you want to create your own business or something. One of the great things that you can do is you can keep on, persisting with that. And you might be throwing out attempt after attempt. So let's say you want to be, you want to start making money off of TikTok or Twitter, or YouTube, or perhaps you've got like a blog that you would like to monetize, or perhaps you've got like an Etsy shop or a Shopify. Perhaps you've got all these different things. Or maybe just one or two of these things, and you're trying to make that a success, and you're trying to live off of that so you can do then whatever you want, right? So what you got to do then is you got to keep on trying with that. You got to keep on marketing your products. Or perhaps you keep on making videos, or you keep on making blog posts, or you keep on making TikToks, you keep on tweeting, whatever it may be, right? Whatever it is, you just keep on doing that, right? You keep on creating, you keep on making those things, right? And then after a while, eventually one of those attempts is going to work, right? And it's going to get you the attraction that you need. It's going to help you get your audience or your buyers, whatever it may be, right? It's like if you're a salesperson, you may have to go through a lot of cold calls in order to get that yes. And basically what the law of probability is that the more attempts you throw out, the more closer you are to getting to where you need to be. If you can think of like an example like Thomas Edison, like he did, I think it was over 10,000 attempts to create the electric light bulb. 10,000, right? But he kept on persisting and he kept on going until he achieved it. And I think he said that, don't you see, like, yeah, I've tried so many times, but basically I found 10,000 attempts of what don't work, right? So therefore you keep on going, you keep on trying until you find that one thing that does work. Right, and that's when you get that successful hit. And it could be that you're trying to invent something and it's just not working, right? But that's the point, right? You use the law of probability. You keep on going until it works. And you've got to have the mindset of, it's not a matter of if this is going to happen. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when, right? And I'm just going to keep on persisting until it works. Right? right? And that's the attitude that you have to have. There's just no other way that you can do it. You have to have that opportunity. You have to have that mindset, right? And the opportunity will come eventually, right? But you need to take your time with it. Sometimes it may only take you a few attempts, right? It may only take you a couple of attempts and you've done it, right? Other times it may take you 100 or 1,000, right? Because it depends on what you're doing and how knowledgeable you are. But one of the great things that you can do, right, to help you get there faster is to model what other people have done. Like, find yourself a role model, right? Find yourself someone who's actually living that lifestyle that you want, who has achieved the things that you want to achieve in order to get that lifestyle, and just ask them what they did, or perhaps you read their autobiography or something like that, right? And you see what they did, and then you sort of copy that. But you don't want to copy it so much that you are like them. You want to be able to put your own spin on things. Basically what you're doing is you're, in essence, following what they did. You're following the path that they were on, but obviously you're bringing your own uniqueness to it, your own twist, your own personality, right? So it's not a good idea to just flat out copy people. Like, so let's say, for example, if someone is selling t-shirts online, right, and that's how they got successful, that's how they got money. It's not a good idea to find those exact t-shirts, right, those designs, and to just basically reprint them and say that they're your own. It's not a good idea to do that, right, at all, right? What you want to do is you want to find, or you want to sell t-shirts, for example, let's say, but you want to have your own sort of designs. You want to, but what you may need to do is market them in the same way that they marketed them. You may want to have some tiny similarities in the style, but not completely, right? You want to be able to not be a carbon copy of that person, but have your own unique twist, have your own thing on it, right? But so it's unique, so it's individual, so it's to you, right? And not just a copy of someone else, okay? So you got to persist, and you have to keep on trying until you achieve it, okay? So in the meantime then, you still may feel trapped, you may still feel upset, you may still feel like you're struggling, like you can't live the life that you want to live, and you can't do whatever you want, right? Because you've got all these other responsibilities, like perhaps you've got kids, perhaps you've got, a job that you can't necessarily just leave, perhaps you've got other, you have to look after people, right? You may have lots and lots of responsibilities, but what you can do to the best of your ability is set up your day in such a way that it pleases you as much as possible, right? And that could just be that once the day is done, you have an hour to just do whatever you want, like, for example, working on your business, or perhaps you just have some chill out time, right? Or perhaps you go and exercise or something like that. Something for you. It could be something like reading, whatever is important to you, right? So, or it could be that you do something like that at the start of the day, right? You get up a little bit earlier so you can have that time to feel like you can actually do what you want, right? So it's a good idea then to set your day up in a way as much as possible that it pleases you. Now that may, like I said, that may only be something like a half an hour to an hour every single day, but at least that's something, right? And at least that is giving you some respite. At least that is making you feel good while you're in this situation and you're trying to grow, so that you can, do whatever you want, right? And that is essentially how you can do whatever you want in this life. I wish there was an easier path, but the best and quickest way is to actually find those role models, find those people that have actually already achieved those things that you want to achieve, so you don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel completely. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.